Alright, so video by Jackus. Are video games no longer fun? Let's see what the guy has to say, but honestly I would say it's because we are oversaturated. This is before the video even starts. We're oversaturated with video games. We are what do you call it, like immunocompromised? Not really. We are adapted to the dopamine hikes to the point where we need too much dopamine for it to be as effective. Kind of like if you're a cocaine addict, you need extra, like you need a lot more cocaine. Like the one key is not gonna get you that high. Not that I would know, I don't do cocaine or anything, I'm just saying. Right, but it's like, you know, you build a tolerance. So we have dopamine tolerance, probably serotonin tolerance, mostly dopamine tolerance from all these video games. So video games are not as exciting anymore. Or to make them as exciting, it has to have something very unique, which is really hard to redo or like do overall. But yeah, that's my thing, and I'm sticking to it. Oversaturation, as well as like if you're an older crowd, I mean, you're not a kid anymore, kind of thing, you know. So the older you are, the less excited you get over things because you experience or you expect too much already.
Video games still fun?
Yes. Overall, yes. Just gotta find the right one.
I don't mean that in the sense of like, is GTA 5 a fun game? It objectively is. Going in as Trevor and going on a rampage still gives me a small rush of serotonin.
Subjectively is. GTA 5 is subjectively fun. I personally don't find it fun. I find it fun to watch sometimes other people play, but I don't find GTA 5 to be fun. It's not objectively fun, it's subjectively fun.
But now the game's been out for 7 years, and a rampage just isn't as fun as it used to be, and I Alt F4 and go back to do something else. That's where I think the main problem is. Not as fun as it used to be.
Again, that goes back to the dopamine high spikes. I think you're just tolerant to dopamine, or let's be real, is it really fun doing the same thing over and over? It might be fun for the first 3 to 10 times, sure, if it was fun to begin with, but it's like every time it's going to be less and less fun, right? It's like as much as I loved playing Diablo 2, I played like Diablo 2 Resurrected. I got to like I think like level 70 something, and I was like, okay, I'm pretty much done. There's like, I don't want to make a new character, I don't want to, you know, I don't want to like do like bail runs to level, I don't care about the Ubers, and like I'm good, you know. It's like I got what I wanted, you know. I killed hell, like I'm okay. Will it be fun to do it again? Maybe, but not as much. Like there are other things I would rather do. In a sense, I respect the players, like for example Mr. Llama, who can play Diablo 2 for years and he's still having fun. I have no idea how, but man, respect. I wish I had that kind of brain that can just like have fun for the sake of having fun. I can't, man. Diablo 2 is like any game really. I can't play the same single player over and over. People who still play Skyrim since release and just, you know, love the game. It's like, how do you, like, man, like, I don't know how you do it.
One of my best friends told me on Discord the other day he was taking a break from Discord and his PC as he found it boring and wouldn't be online as much. At first I was wondering what he meant. Then I started to think about what he said, and I ended up agreeing. Let me give you an idea of what he meant. How often have you finished school or work and you go and sit by your PC or console and you're so ready to have some fun, and then you just sit there for hours?
Never. Not even once did that happen to me. If I come home from work, it's shower, new clothes, and sit for 4 to 8 hours playing video games. Depends how much sleep I need for the next day. Never happened to me. And if it's not video games, it's usually YouTube videos, it's jerking off, but it's always on the computer. Majority of it is video games. Sometimes the worst part is when, for example, I only have like, let's say 3 hours to play, and I'm like, man, like it's not enough time to play this, or it's not enough time to play that. I want to play this, but it's like I need at least like 6 to 8 hours to like get somewhere, so it's like I don't even want to start. That's actually what the worst part is. It's like sometimes I just don't have enough time to actually sit and enjoy the game. And the games that are like just like, you know, log in and play kind of thing, like a Warzone or whatever, are just not my thing. I love progression, but in order for me to get into the progression, into the character development and all that stuff, I need a few more hours than 3.
Waiting for something to happen. You have games.
League was fine in that aspect, because League is like, if I have like 3 hours, like I can probably get 5 games in, you know, stuff like that.
Games, they're just not fun enough. I sit here most days looking at my desktop with hundreds of games on it, and I spend most of my time just on Chrome, watching Netflix or YouTube. And
that's why I get 2 monitors to do it at the same time. The only time I can't do videos and play a video game is when I'm streaming. Other than that, what the fuck is that? Parody Valley charity stream? What the f... Anyway, it's like, it's this thing, like, what the fuck is that? Yeah, I usually, like, if I'm not streaming, I do, like, I watch a video and I play video games at the same time. I feel like I'm not doing much if I'm just watching something. It's like I feel like I need to do something else. And same with like video game has its downtime. I'm like, man, I have all this free time to do other shit. Like, why am I waiting on queue and stuff like that?
I don't know why. I want to play these games, and sometimes I even open them, but I never make it further than an hour before I get bored and go back to endlessly scrolling on TikTok.
Get a better game. Also, again, what does TikTok give you compared to like your video game? It's the dopamine. It's that like you don't know what to expect. This is, I think, this person's problem. He knows exactly what to expect versus like TikTok or Instagram. I can easily sit an hour on Instagram and just scroll through my feed and just like, wow, you know, it's like, and even watch stuff I'm not interested in. But the reason you like it is because you don't know what is gonna like what is coming. It's like it's so random. I'm assuming same with TikTok. Similar with like, how come you start getting sick of your own music playlist? However, when a song comes at random from your playlist, you're all excited. I think the randomness is really what gives it that boon, you know? It's like, if I listen to Backstreet Boys all day, for example, bye 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 and sync or whatever, and it's like, as much as I love those songs, when I know it's coming, it's not as exciting. But then I'm like, turn on the radio and suddenly out of nowhere, it's like Backstreet's back. I'm like, oh shit, let's go, party time, right? Even in my car, I'm like fucking rocking to that shit. And again, it's like, it's because it's a surprise. If you know it's coming, if you know it's in your playlist, it's not as exciting.
So, I've been rambling about things not being fun. So, what is fun?
Not fun, not fun, not fun, and not fun.
Fun
All
is
right.
a very subjective term.
Yes.
Ask 50 people what they find fun, and you'll get 50 different answers. One may say roller coasters. Another may say getting pegged in the arse. It's very subjective, but I'll throw my 2 cents in, because this is my YouTube channel, and my opinion is the only opinion that truly matters around here.
100%.
Something is fun when you want to relive the moment again.
See, this was never gonna happen. You cannot relive a moment that you lived before unless you can get amnesia. It's like, as much as I'm replaying Final Fantasy XIV right now, I'm finishing Stormblood, and I want to get to Shadowbringers and Endwalker. Guess what? I am not gonna get the same feeling I had when I first saw a certain cinematic or discovered certain parts of the story. However, I am still, when I see someone else having the Hydaelyn walk cinematic, the Vana walk cinematic, the Shadowbringers, Emmett Selk when he explains about Hydaelyn Zodiac, those, and like when you defeat Emmett Selk and you have the whole Artbird thing going on, I still feel a strong emotion. I was like, oh man, this is so good, right? I get that. But obviously it's like I'm not reliving it as if I saw it the first time. The first time was so much better, hands down, right? But So I'm not reliving it, it's just I'm still enjoying it, but I'm not reliving it. And it's like, I don't think it's possible to relive something unless it's something you haven't played in like such a long time that you actually forget the feeling. For example, Diablo 2 Remastered or Resurrected, I felt absolutely nothing compared to like my first playthrough. Not even close, right? It was more like the playthrough of Diablo 2 Resurrected was more like as if I played it yesterday, even though it's been like 20 years or whatever, right? So yeah, and it's like same with like World of Warcraft TBC, because that's when I really started playing it. If anything, I remember the bad times, not the good times, you know. It's like, or like how boring it is compared to like, you know, how slow it is, how like unengaging that game is. I don't remember it being fun, right? Every time I look back, it's like the feelings I had were fun, but if I think about the game itself, it wasn't fun.
This can be.
I just had to throw some tilt in there, you know?
Just going to bed with a grin on your face. I remember a few years ago when me and my friends would spend hours playing Team Fortress 2, but not the actual game. We played the man versus machine mode. I used to play it on a MacBook, and we could only play one map because that was the only one that would load on Apple products.
Yeah.
It got so bad one night that we played it all night until the sun came up the next day.
I mean, it's so bad. That's how you want it to be. You want to play a game and not realize that the sun is coming up. Like, you look at times like, how is it 6 a.m? I just started playing. That's what you want to feel.
My dad was furious, but I didn't care.
Okay.
I had fun.
Yeah.
Pure, childlike, unadulterated fun. That was a good night. I wish I could live that night again, because life was easier then.
Oh
I
yeah.
didn't really care about anything at that point.
Yep. To this day, I'm trying to do like night-long streams where like I just play through the night, whatever. Dude, I can't, man. I'm just getting too tired to the point where like it's not fun because my brain is telling me that you're so tired you can't find this fun. Go to sleep. Right? It's like your brain is purposefully shutting down your dopamine and your serotonin or something in order for you to go and get and rest. Same with like yesterday's stream, ended super fast. Even though like the videos I want to watch were interesting to me, I was so tired for some reason that my brain's like, listen, like you don't even want to watch this anymore. You just want to sleep. And I was like, yeah, I want to sleep. Turn off the stream. Took a 2-hour nap.
Nostalgia is such a double-edged sword when you get older.
Dude, nostalgia is poison, by the way. Just so you know, nostalgia is one of the most poisonous things your brain can make you do.
On one hand, it reminds you of good times in the past that you look back on fondly. But on the other hand, it reminds you of good times in the past. It makes you sad.
Yeah.
Because you can't have those times again.
But see, here's the thing. That is, I think nostalgia only happens to people who are not too happy with their current self compared to their previous self. Or for example, they're too stressed about their life or something like that. So it's like, oh man, I miss the times when things were simpler, right? Where it's like you didn't have all these worries. And I would say if your enjoyment of life is not as much as your stressors in life, I think you would be nostalgic to a better time. That's just my thing. I don't know exactly how true it is. I didn't do research, but that's how I feel about it. Every time I'm feeling a bit down or like, oh man, so much fucking work, I don't want to do this and whatever, and then you turn on like some Viva Forever from Spice Girls and you remember that you were in 5th grade at that time or whatever, or like 6th grade, and you're like, oh man, those were the good old days. And then you get into nostalgia loop, and for like 2 hours you just listen to old shit or just want to play an old game that you used to play, and you get into this nostalgia loop and you're not getting what you want. You just get sadder about today rather than like happier about yesterday.
Not saying that there can't be any good times in games nowadays.
Of course there can be. He plays all the games I don't like, huh?
The Forest a while back, and the whimsy came back. We had the biggest smiles on our faces for days, building huge bases, fighting off gruesome cannibals, and just generally being idiots. If you want a game to play with your friends, I highly suggest playing The Forest. It's the most fun I've had with my friends in a long time. But it's still got stale, and now we almost never touch the game, except from when we all say we should play it again. We play it for a day straight and then never again, because it doesn't bring back the memories we used to have about the game.
It's like me and my cousin. My cousin, like every so often, he'll be like, "Yo, let's play together. Let's play this, play that." And it's like play for a few hours, and it's just like, because I play games so much and he doesn't as well, the skill level is different. I'm like waiting for him to catch up and all that stuff. It's not the same, you know? It's like when the skill level is different, it's like just playing with the same person is just not it anymore. It's one of the things.
Problem is with modern day video games. They don't leave a good enough memory. This is the problem I have with Pokemon.
I would say it's not the game that left the memory, it's your friendship and like what you were doing with your friends that left the memory. I don't think you can blame the video games for it. Every video game playing with friends, that your purpose is just to play with friends, is gonna be as memorable as any other game. People who play World of Warcraft together and their whole fun is literally doing Mythic Plus with their friends and just talking shit on Discord, guess what? They can do the same leveling in Guild Wars 2, they can do the same running some stupid dungeons in Final Fantasy or Trials or all that stuff. Your whole purpose, or building a house, it doesn't matter. Your whole purpose in that interaction is playing with your friends, and the game is the platform. So the platform doesn't matter. Plenty of people play what's it called, Warzone with their friends and have a blast. When they play alone, they feel like the game is not so good, because the whole point is playing with your friends. It's the friends and the company that makes the game good. You think what's it called, you think Among Us would be an amazing game if you couldn't play with your friends? I never want to play Among Us. Well, honestly, I never want to play Among Us, but if I were to play it, I would only play with friends, right? And I just don't have that many friends to play with. Actually, I have no friends, but it doesn't matter. What's it called? Same with that other game with the obstacle course. What's it called? Whatever it's called. Same. Like, a lot of games are just like, they're meant to be like platform for you and your friends to have fun on. They're not meant to be like actually good games.
Every time a new Pokemon game would come out, I would buy it. I would never know why, because some of the recent ones aren't even that good. I recently realised it's because I'm trying to bring back those memories of Diamond and Pearl that I had on my DS as a kid.
Same with me and Yellow, man. I just love Yellow and I hate all the others, because first of all, I only remember the 151 Pokemon. I also like really enjoyed Yellow storyline. I don't know, and honestly, like, I would say Silver is kind of okay. Silver and Gold are also okay, but anything past that, I'm like, not it. It was Indigo League and Orange League or something. I don't even know what the second league is, but like, I'm still looking for them to remaster Yellow and going into Silver just as one game, like a whole story. I would love that shit.
Not knowing anything about type weaknesses or strategy, and just solely training my starter to a monstrously high level.
Oh yeah.
Beating all...
I still do that. I get a Charmander, and I don't think I even make it to Misty, like basically the second gym, until I make him a Charizard. Like, that's how much I'm farming him out.
Enemy Pokemon in one hit. But none of them can do that. There's also the fact that we change as people over time. Games will always be just lines of code made by companies who just want to make a profit, but it's the players that change too. I know that's a cringe thing to say, but it is true. I'm not who I was when I was 12 playing TF2 till sunrise. I'm a much older, wiser person. We can't bring back those fun memories because we aren't the same people.
Yeah.
It would be lying to say that I'm happier now than I was when I was a kid, playing Overwatch in 2016 with Lewis, raging when we lost and screaming when we won. Video games have provided people with some of the happiest memories anyone could ever ask for. But they've not been able to fill the same place that they used to.
See, I don't agree. I think video games are just a replacement to other stuff you could have done with your friends. When I was growing up until, I would say, 4th to 5th grade, even maybe 6th grade, my computer was not really good. There were like almost no games to play as well. I was outside playing with friends all the time. We would go to each other's houses without notification and just drag people out. It's like, yo, We just need like 3 more people to go and play soccer. Literally would take us like an hour to 2 hours to gather the people to go play for like half an hour and then say bye. Like, but it was fun. Just the whole journey to do that was actually fun. And it's like, could I get the same fun in a video game? Yeah, but that's the whole point. It's the same exact fun. As a kid, anything is fun because like you do things with a purpose. When you play a new video game and you're like discovering stuff like that, you're playing with purpose and you're having fun. Right now, if your purpose is to relive like an old experience because it's an impossible objective, you're not gonna have fun. It's like you're gonna be chasing how's the song go? Chasing highs? That's what you're doing. You're chasing highs. You're not gonna get it.
That's why I think video games just aren't that fun anymore.
I don't agree. Good video though. I don't agree. I think video games are probably more fun now than they ever were. Just because you can do so much more in video games now that you could do before. However, it's like, if we take fun on the spectrum, say not fun and fun, right? Like very fun, whatever the max point is. Once you reach that max, no matter what the situation is and where you got it, the max fun is reached. You can't have more fun. It's like you're already there. So it's like just because the video games are better overall, more entertaining, allow them more story, better story, easier to comprehend, a lot more simplistic, character development is better. All these things are better. The problem is the max fun was reached with like something that is even subpar to that. It's like way worse than that. You're always gonna have as much fun as you can, regardless of what it is. Once you reach that max, you can't pass it. So it doesn't matter if the video games are better or not. The only thing that I would say is the person change. If you're like, my brother used to love video games. He grew out of them. My cousin used to love video games. He grew out of them. He barely played. He plays like one game now, like maybe 3 hours a week or some shit. He never plays video games anymore, right? Because they're not fun. You try to get him to, he can't even watch a movie like fully at home. He gets bored. It's like, oh, this is too long, an hour and a half, screw that, right? It's not that it's not fun. It's like you have things that you would much rather do, right? You have different priorities, right? Me, I don't have a priorities. I literally work so I can play video games. I love video games so much that like my hours spent working is like, and on my money is literally so I can survive enough to play a video game, right? It's like I can afford food, my car, and my rent, so I can play video games, right? And my computer and internet connection, all that stuff, right? It's like that's why I work, because my fun is the video games, not anything else. This guy might have more fun making videos, might have more fun doing other stuff, having a hobby, whatever. Maybe video games are not his thing anymore, right? So it's like, I think it's a matter of priority. Anyways, good video. This is Jackus. I'll give him a like, I'll give him a sub, and I don't agree with his point of view, but hey, I understand completely. Anyway, see you in the next one. Peace out.